Oh, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sahaja Yoga Meditation. We will get started. Uh, yeah, this is a quick agenda that we are going to be following today. We'll first go through some basic introduction about uh, uh, the reason why we want to meditate and what is our what's called as the subtle system, and this is innate system that is built within us. We will know a little bit about our subtle system, and then we will talk about uh, how Sahaja Yoga meditation can really help us in getting into meditation and why it is special and all that good stuff. And before we get into the self-realization, we will also uh, look at our inner state and compare and get into the realization. Yeah, with that basic introduction, I want to uh, bring up this slide. Uh, Buddha was asked this question about what he has gained from meditation. And enlightened being Buddha was, he replied that he gained really nothing but lost a bunch of things like anger, anxiety, depression, insecurity, and fear of death, and all of that. So it's really very insightful about what we can gain by meditating. And if we look at this slide, I want to use this slide as a little aid to see, kind of walk us through why do we need to meditate. In our daily life, we are either distracted by our own little world, what's happening in our world, or sometimes we are totally lost about what's going on and why are we here. Or we might take things too seriously. We might not really be seeing things at a bigger picture level, or without realizing what's the role that we have to play, why we are here, we might as well get into depression or other kinds of feelings. So it ranges from a variety of things. And that's exactly where meditation can really help us. And Sahaja Yoga meditation really gives us its next level of human awareness. What do we mean by that? Is during the evolution, there's a lot of change and development in our physical being, and once human form was made and is created, now the evolution is not at a physical level, but it is at a subtle level that is inside us. And that evolution can really, once awakened, can take us to that next level of awareness, which is what the actualization of self-realization really is. And we'll get into a little bit more about that. Why Sahaja Yoga meditation is important? Can we go back to the previous slide, please? Yeah, thank you. It is verifiable. Once we get into that state, we feel sensation, we get feedback from our inner system. And um, that feedback will help us self-diagnose our problems. And once we know what the problems are, finding solution is the next step. And it's not that diagnosis generally is the most difficult thing. And in this case, using self-yoga meditation, we get the help for self-diagnosis, which is extremely important. And with this allows us to really introspect ourselves and get deeper and improve our inner being. And by doing all of this, we'll find lots of inner peace and inner joy. This is very important, because these aspects of Sahaja Yoga meditation help us in overall improvement of our physical, mental, emotional being. And the best about Sahaja Yoga is doesn't require any preparation. You don't have to sit in a particular spot. You have to do in a different posture or anything like that. You can do it anywhere. Anybody can perform do this at any time, which is good. And all the knowledge that we are going to be sharing with you, which was shared to us, is free. Now it has been free and it will be free. So this is really a very good uh, meditation technique to learn and practice. Now let's have a very quick look about Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who is the founder of Sahaja Yoga meditation. She was born in March 21st, 1923 in India. And then during that period, India was going through freedom struggle, and Shri Mataji and her family actively participated in India's freedom fight. And during that period, Shri Mataji also studied medicine and psychology. And alongside along her side, her father, Sri Mataji, participated in many events during the freedom struggle, and Sri Mataji's father was very close to Mahatma Gandhi, and that way Sri Mataji also interacted with Mahatma Gandhi, and uh, they used to have some deep conversations about spirituality at a very young age of Sri Mataji. And later on, Sri Mataji was married to a highly placed uh, foreign official in India. So because of that, she was traveling along the world with her husband, and uh, she was she started spreading the her message of love and Sahaja Yoga meditation. And because of her journey towards this, she was recognized and nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize as well. And today, Sahaja Yoga meditation is practiced in many countries. Yeah, we know off the record at least over 100 countries where Sahaja Yoga meditation is practiced. Thousands of people practice every day. Millions have received their self-realization and enjoy the benefits. With all of that, now let's have a very quick look. We talked about the subtle system. What is the subtle system, and how Sahaja Yoga meditation is connected to subtle system? Just like any system, our inside us there is energy, and that energy flows through us in different ways. And uh, at the very core, there is something called Kundalini energy, which is at the bottom of our spinal cord in a triangular bone. This triangular bone is known as sacrum bone, uh, which also means sacred in in Greek. So at some point in the past, Greeks knew that there is something sacred about this bone, and that's why it is named as sacrum bone. There is an energy called Kundalini. Kundalini really literally means coiled energy. So we can call this, it's a motherly energy. We can call this energy as mother as we go through. But this is generally a dormant energy which is not awakened. However, as I said, this is a motherly energy. It is there within us to help us get to that higher level of awareness. And all we have to do is to pray to this energy to be awakened within us. And once this energy is awakened, it starts to rise inside our central channel. You could see now in this picture, there are three channels. This energy starts rising the central channel, and there are multiple energy centers. And as the energy is rising, it nourishes these energy centers and washes away any impurities and strengthens these energy centers. And why that is important? That is important because these energy centers really form our inner body, and they give us, they control different qualities, as you can see here. Like the second energy center gives us the creativity, the third energy center gives us the peace, so on and so forth. When all of these various qualities are manifested within us, then we become the complete human being with a different level of at a higher level of awareness. And this process of raising the kundalini energy and uh, going all the way within our body. And once the Kundalini energy reaches the seventh energy center, which is at the top of our head, that at that point, it unites our energy with the all pervading energy that is all around us. That union of our inner energy with the all pervading is known as yoga. Yoga literally means union, and uh, Sahaja is an energy that is born with us that can spontaneously be awakened. That's the reason why this meditation technique is known as Sahaja Yoga meditation. So, to summarize, we have three channels: left channel, which is represented in the blue, right channel, which is represented in the yellow, and a central channel. And our left channel is it represents our past and also our desires, and this is mostly towards our takes care of our emotional being. And whereas the right channel, the one that is in the yellow, is represents our future. So all the planning, all the action that we do is controlled by the right channel, and the energy we take from here. So this is more to our intellectual side, intellectual being. But there is a third channel, that is the central channel. The central channel represents the present. We want to be in the present. That is when we are not thinking about the past, not planning about the future. We are in the center and we are present and we enjoy the moment. That's exactly what we want to get to. And there are seven energy centers within us. Majority of them are along the spinal cord, and the sixth energy center is at the forehead level. And once the kundalini energy crosses this sixth energy center, that's when we get pushed into a state of what's known as thoughtless awareness. That is a state that we are in uh, to the meditation, that we are aware of what's happening around us, but we are uh, really, our thoughts subside and we get into that state of meditation. And yeah, Saijo, your Kundalini energy is it's personal, it is a motherly energy, it is loving, caring energy. So awakening this energy takes care of our inner being. And this Kundalini energy is born with us. And this is, we can think of it like a inbuilt recorder. It knows everything about us, and it is there to help us, to guide us in our spiritual journey. So this is a quick introduction, and what we will do in the next steps is we will, now that we are aware of the subtle system, we will go through some steps of how we can raise our Kundalini energy, known as self-realization. And with different steps, we can help this energy be awakened and experience meditation.
So is it? As a next step, what we are going to do is going through the self-realization steps. Um, as it was told previously that we have seven energy centers and three channels. So what we are going to do is that with the help of some steps, we want to awaken this energy, which is a motherly energy within us. So to do that, first what we'll do is that if you are sitting on a chair, we can place both our hand on our lap with the palm facing upward and just we can relax both the hand. And then we'll be keep placing our left hand on our lap and right hand will be placing it to different part of our body on the left hand side. So right hand first will be placing it on our heart. So what I'm going to do is basically show all these steps and then we can do this step with our eyes closed, because when our attention is inside, then basically this motherly energy basically listens to it and rises, and then in the end of the meditation you can see what you feel on your fingertips or top of your head and will be guiding through that. So during this process, just keep your mind like a scientist, like a open, and go through this experiment and see what you feel through through this exercise. And in the end, you can see what you feel. So first, we'll be placing our right hand on our heart, and we'll be saying few affirmation which is related to this chakra. Then we'll be placing our right hand to the lower part of the upper part of the stomach on the left hand side. Then we'll be moving our right hand to the lower part of the stomach on the left hand side. This is the energy center where the pure knowledge resides. So we'll be saying some affirmation. Then we'll be bringing our right hand back to the upper part of the stomach on the left hand side. This is the mastery principle within us. So we'll be saying some affirmation regarding this center. After that, we'll be placing our right hand back to our heart. In heart reside the spirit. So we'll be saying few affirmation regarding this center. Then we can bring our right hand little bit up toward the left side of the neck, and we can move our head toward the right shoulder to have better access to this center. Make sure that fingertips touches the spinal cord. So this is the energy center which is used for communication, and it gets affected if we feel guilty or if we feel that we are no good, or we have some kind of guilt. So we'll be saying few affirmation like um, like referring to this motherly energy, mother kundalini, I am not guilty. After that, we'll be placing our right hand on our forehead, center of palm onto the center of forehead, and we can press both side of head with finger and thumb on each side. And after that, we'll be placing it to back side of our head. And we can raise our head little bit toward this ceiling so that our head rests on our palm. And finally, at the last step, what we'll do is we'll stretch our fingers and take the center of our palm, right hand, on top of our head, and we'll be massaging the top of our head in clockwise fashion. And each time we'll massage, we'll be asking basically few questions to this energy to give us self-realization. So these are the steps I'm summarizing in this slide to guide us through this meditation. We'll be going through listening to guided meditation by Srimataji in next step so that you can follow and then we can see in the end what you feel after the self-realization exercise. So before we begin, we can bring both our hands on our lap and we can go inside by observing our breathing. Slowly inhale and slowly exhale. Now we'll be starting the self-realization exercise, so you can just follow along. And if you have any uh, doubt in between, you can open your eyes and look into the video.
Keep your eyes closed. First of all, please put your right hand on your heart. All the time, the left hand is towards me. Now, here you have to say, in your heart, with all sincerity, Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question 3 times in your heart. This is a very fundamental question. Now bring the right hand on to the left hand side of your stomach, in the upper part. Here press it. Now this is the center of your mastery, your guidance, your Guru Tattva as they say. So ask a question, Mother, am I my own master? This is a question to be asked 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Now, bring your right hand down below, in the lower part of the abdomen. Now, this is the center from which all the divine work is done. All the pure work is done. So to ask 6 times, because this center has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. 6 times you just ask. As a result of this asking, the Kundalini starts getting awakened. Now to help the Kundalini rise, you have to cooperate with her. So please put your right hand on the left hand side in the upper part of your abdomen and press it on the stomach. Now here you have to say with full confidence, to help the Kundalini to rise, Mother, I am my own master. This you have to say 10 times. These are the 10 commandments which you have to say. That, Mother, I am my own master. Now, 10 times with full confidence. Now, please raise your right hand to your heart. Now, here you have to say, again with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This is the truth. You are the Spirit. But you have to say with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This you have to say 12 times. Now one has to know that God Almighty is the ocean of love. But above all, He is the ocean of forgiveness. So He forgives. Whatever wrong you do, He forgives. So don't feel guilty and put your right hand across on the left hand side in the corner which is made by your neck and your shoulder. Now here you have to say, again with full confidence, 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty. Please say it. Mother, I am not guilty. 16 times. I am not guilty at all. Please say it. Please say it. Very hot. Now raise your hand across on your forehead. And it's a very important center. Here you have to say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Please say it from your heart. How many times is not the point. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now some would say that it's very difficult to forgive. But it's a myth that we do not forgive or we forgive. We do not do anything in both the cases. But if we don't forgive, then we play into wrong hands. So please say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Now please take your hand on the back agya, the same center, on the back side of your head and Allow your head to rest on it and push it back a little bit. Now, here, you have to say, for your satisfaction, because you always feel guilty, that, "Oh Divine, if I have done anything wrong, please forgive me." Please forgive me from your heart. Stretch your hand fully and put your center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a very soft bone in your childhood. Press it hard. Press hard your scalp. Now you have to move it 7 times, saying one thing which you have to ask for. Mother, please give us my self-realization, because I cannot force on you. So you have to ask for it. 7 times, press it hard and move it 7 times, very hard. Slowly, saying that.
We can now bring our right hand back to our lap and observe what you feel on your palm. As an experiment, let's bring our right hand back to top of our head. This time, we can bring the right hand little bit up around 4 to 5 inches above your head and observe what you feel on your hand. You may feel tingling or heat or coolness. Some people feel little bit closer to the head and some people feel little far. So just experiment, just raise your right hand little bit up to 7 to 8 inches above your head and bring it close. Now some people are more sensitive to left hand, so we can bring our right hand back to our lap and raise our left hand on to the top of our head and place it around 3 to 4 inches above your head, top of the head, and observe what you feel. Is it the same as right hand or anything different? Can bring back your left hand back to the left and with attention on top of your head or center of palm, let's meditate for a minute. We can take few deep breaths. Slowly inhale and slowly exhale. Now we can slowly open our eyes. If anyone has any question or they want to share the experience, what they felt on their fingertips or their hand, they can share it, or they can unmute and speak, or they can type in the chat window.
So in this meditation, right, is it more of a chakra awakening and flowing of the energy through Kundalini?
Amit, yeah, like Sahaja Yoga encompasses many aspects. So Sri Mataji always dealt with issues from the subtlest point. So the subtlest point in a human being or any human being, immaterial of which country, which religion, which gender, he has these subtle aspects. So from where we can balance ourselves and do, and slowly we can go beyond other topics also. But yeah, but that's the starting point. Hopefully it helps, Amit.
Yeah, it did really. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Eventually, you learn many things. Like we have, like Srimataji gave us, so many topics she covered. Like even all this is free. We but regularly meditate together. Just like people like us, we'd like to meditate together and grow in this experience. So you will learn eventually. Everything is free. So just try to be in that mood of learning. You will eventually understand. So I think Santosh Katkam has a question. Do we need to be on empty stomach to do Sahaja Yoga meditation? Actually, no. Just be comfortable with yourself. That's what it is required. Eat like normal amount of food. Be sufficient, and then make yourself comfortable and sit somewhere comfortably. So that's what you need. Santosh, you are still here, right? Hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, thank you. So one more thing, like, do we have these sessions every day or every Saturday? Like,
Yeah, we do have lined up sequence of events. So Muditji will be sending you about what to do. So first thing would be, this is the very first session, right? So now you have the like basics, like how to get into meditation and what actually this meditation is. Okay, you have some idea in your like the very first session. So eventually you will see how this will happen. So for that we need your help also. Like over this week, try to follow up like whatever Mudiji material sends, try to understand it and try to at least 5 minutes do meditation. Try to get into that habit. And
right.
next week, if you have more questions, we can answer more. So that's the way we are planning to do.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
So, as Raghu was mentioning that basically this is just the beginning, and when we did the self-realization exercise, what happened is that the Kundalini energy basically get awakened, and you may have felt little bit of it today, either on your hand, tingling or heat, or just a sense of calmness inside you. But as you meditate daily 5 to 10 minutes, you will see that these energy centers uh, get awakened more, and the flow of energy increases, and you can feel those energies on your hand as well as on top of your head. As you see in this diagram, your hand is color coded. The fingers are color coded with these energy centers. So if suppose somebody's second center is imbalance or something, they may feel a tingling on their thumb, which is an indication that the energy, this Madalli Kundalini energy, is working on it and clearing it. But this is very beginning. So you, on the first time, you may feel or you may not feel, but in coming, I think 1 or 2 weeks, if you meditate daily for 5 to 10 minutes, you definitely will feel, and like a scientist, you can basically validate this one on your central nervous system. These energy centers, in the medical term, they are called as plexuses, and lot of nerve endings are there. So this energy center really helps us physically, emotionally, and mentally and spiritually. So this is the first step, and I'll be sending the material how to meditate at home. Just try that one 5 to 10 minutes daily, and next week we'll cover um, in the session we'll cover how to balance our left sympathetic nervous system and right sympathetic nervous system. and we'll have some session on that, and we'll have more meditation. This is the first session was kind of introduction only, and from the next week we'll be going into more detail about it.
Thank you, Madhiji. And Chandra is asking which part of the day is better to do this meditation. Generally speaking, the early morning, once you get up, have your breakfast, or just before going to sleep after the dinner, those part of the day generally will not be that much disturbed or so many things acting on your mind. So those are the two time slots. If you can do that, that should really help, because meditation after all has to do with being peaceful with yourself, right? So try to find those kind of slots. If early morning or just before the sleep doesn't work out, so that's also fine. You can choose whatever whatever time of the day you want. So actually these days it's very good, like in these times of turmoil, it should be a real experiment for you how to be at peace with yourself. So this could be a good start, like how even for 5 minutes, how can we be peaceful, and so yeah.
Yeah, adding on to that, at any time which when you have 5 to 10 minutes where nobody is disturbing you, that should be a good time to meditate. And from next week onward, after the next week session, we'll also have a daily meditation in 9:15 p.m. So we'll be sending that information later on in the week, so that you can form a daily habit to meditate and can meditate daily collectively. Any other question anybody has? Another thing is that people who have registered through Eventbrite, we have your email address, and if somebody is coming from um, uh, Meetup or any other platform, if you can type your email address in the chat window or send it to us privately, then we'll be sending all the handouts that are required to how to meditate and at home, and more information about this meditation.
Thank you, Momo. I definitely, Mudiji will note down the email ID and will send. And Anand, yeah, thank you. So it's a group effort. So please, you can also unmute yourself, and you can also discuss. It's a group-based effort, so that we will know, like, if any things need to be discussed, then we can go over that topic. So if you are unable to sit into meditation, or if you have like that, we can grow up together.
Okay, if there's no more question, I think this concludes our first week session, and we also are starting. This will be this 4 week course will be there on Saturday. So this is the first session, and there is another course starting on Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. and June 7th, Sunday on 11 a.m. All the session you can join, but if you want to stick to only one course, then basically you can follow Saturdays at 10 a.m. But all the courses are free. You can join any of them. and I'll be sending information about all. So thank you everyone for your time, and hope you can practice this one, and see some positive changes coming to you. Try to, again, I'm saying that take it as a scientist. Don't just take it directly because we are saying it. Um, just experiment with that. Meditate every day 5 to 10 minutes and see what you feel. So thank you very much for your time. We'll see you next week. I'll be just starting a music so you can meditate with that music. See you all. Thanks.